Saint Michael, enter your home and fill it with divine peace and security. Pray with faith. Beloved brother and sister, who join me in this moment of prayer today, what a blessing it is that you have come here. Saint Michael the Archangel, the powerful guardian of souls, is at this very instant contemplating your home, that sacred space where much of your life unfolds. As an invincible celestial warrior, he clearly sees the concerns that surround your home, that sense of vulnerability that sometimes invades you when you think about the safety of your family. He sees the anxiety that arises when you feel that negative energies seek to cross your threshold. Perhaps you have experienced moments of tension within the walls of your home, or perhaps fear has knocked at your door, making you feel that your refuge is no longer as secure as before. Yet, I want you to know that Saint Michael the Archangel is already unfolding his protective wings over your home. He is already placing his divine shield in every corner of your home. Today, through this powerful prayer, he will bring peace and divine security to that space you so deeply cherish. As the book of Joshua reminds us, "As for me and my home, we will serve the Lord," Joshua 24 verse 15. This promise is the foundation for transforming your home into a true sanctuary, protected by the heavenly hosts. I invite you to declare with faith right now by writing in the comments, "Saint Michael, consecrate my home," thus opening the doors of your home to this archangelic protection. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. And forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen. Glorious Saint Michael the Archangel, today I invoke you with all the strength of my heart, that you may enter my home and transform it into a true sanctuary of peace and divine security. You are the Prince of the Celestial Militia, the most powerful defender against the forces of evil. I implore you to cross the threshold of my door right now and traverse every space of my home with your sword of light and your protective shield. I ask you to bless the foundations of my home, that they may be firm like your unshakable faith. May the roots of this home extend deep into the earth and be nourished by the divine strength that you represent. Let every brick, every beam, every structural element of my home be permeated with your protective presence, so that no negative force may ever weaken these walls that guard what I cherish most. Extend your majestic wings over the roof of my home, forming an impenetrable shield against all adversity. May your celestial mantle cover our home as a sacred canopy, preventing the storms of life, both physical and spiritual, from harming this family refuge. Under your protection, may our roof be a symbol of the security that only heaven can guarantee. Place your flaming sword at every door and window of my home, so that nothing that is not of God may enter. May your guardian angels stand watch day and night at every access point, discerning with divine wisdom what may cross these thresholds. May only positive thoughts, people of goodwill, and constructive energies enter this space consecrated to peace. Illumine with your celestial radiance every corner where darkness might hide. Dispel the shadows of worry, anxiety, and fear that sometimes accumulate in the corners of our rooms. May your golden light penetrate every last square inch of this home, making it impossible for any type of negativity to settle there. Consecrate the living room of my home, that space where we gather as a family and welcome our loved ones and friends. May it be a place of uplifting conversations, sincere laughter, and shared moments that build unbreakable bonds. Drive away from this space all discord, all misunderstanding, and every hurtful word that might break family harmony. May an atmosphere of understanding and mutual respect always reign in our living room. Bless our table, where we share not only food for the body but also the bread of family fellowship. May every meal be a small celebration of gratitude, a sacred moment where we recognize ourselves as a family united by divine love. Drive away from our table haste, distractions, and awkward silences, and replace them with nourishing conversations that feed our souls as much as the dishes feed our bodies. I ask you to purify the kitchen of my home, that pulsating heart where food is prepared with love. May every cooked dish be imbued not only with flavor but also with blessings for those who will consume it. Protect this space from any accident or oversight that could endanger my family's safety. May our kitchen always be a place of creativity, abundance, and health. Sanctify our bedrooms, those intimate spaces where we rest and renew our strength. Place a guardian angel at the head of each bed to watch over our dreams and ward off nightmares. During the night, while we sleep vulnerable, may your protection intensify, creating an impenetrable force field around each member of my family. May our rest be restorative, our dreams inspiring, and our awakening filled with gratitude and renewed energy. Purify the air we breathe within our home, so that it may be charged with vitality and positive energy. May every breath we take within these walls connect us with the divine source of life, renewing not only our bodies but also our spirits. Eliminate any stagnant energy, any negative vibration that might be affecting our physical, mental, or spiritual health. Bless the water that flows through the pipes of my home, that purifying element which cleanses our bodies and our home. May every drop be charged with your healing power, washing away not only visible dirt but also the heavy energies that sometimes cling to our spaces and our auras. May the water in our home always be abundant and crystalline, a symbol of the fluidity with which we desire blessings to circulate in our lives. Consecrate the electricity and artificial light that illuminate our nights, so that they may be a reflection of the divine light that never fades. Protect our home from any electrical failure or short circuit that could endanger our safety. May the light in our home always symbolize mental clarity, transparency in our relationships, and the spiritual illumination we seek. Bless every object within our home, from the most valuable to the most humble. May our possessions be tools for our growth and well-being, never idols that enslave us. Let us away from excessive attachment to material things, and help us to value the richness of our relationships more than the accumulation of goods. May all that we possess be at the service of family love and never be a source of discord. Place your protective seal on every family photograph that adorns our walls, preserving happy memories and healing any painful ones. May these images frozen in time always remind us of the unbreakable bonds that unite us, and the shared history that defines us as a family. Protect especially those photographs of loved ones who have departed, so that their memory may be a blessing and their spiritual presence a loving companionship. I ask you to bless our electronic devices, those windows to the outside world that can be both a source of connection and distraction. May the technologies in our home be used with wisdom and discernment, drawing us closer to those we love and to valuable information, but never alienating us from real presence and genuine human contact. Protect us from any negative influence that may infiltrate through screens and virtual connections. Sanctify the spaces where we work or study within the home, so that they may be places of concentration, creativity, and productivity. Drive away from these corners procrastination, anxiety about results, and excessive stress. Replace them with divine inspiration, mental clarity, and the right measure of discipline that allows us to give our best without falling into exhaustion. May our work at home always be an expression of our talents placed at the service of noble purposes. Bless the books and study materials in our home, that they may be sources of wisdom and growth. May the words printed on these pages nourish our minds with elevated ideas, inspiring stories, and useful knowledge. Keep from our library any content that could corrupt our thoughts or lead us away from the path of light. May our thirst for knowledge always be oriented towards truth and goodness. Protect the toys and play areas of the children in our home, so that they may be places of joy, innocence, and healthy development. May play in our home always be an activity that strengthens imagination, socialization, and positive values. Keep away any influence that might prematurely rob the childhood of the youngest members of the family. May the children in our home grow up surrounded by love, healthy boundaries, and the freedom necessary to discover their own gifts. I ask you to bless our pets, those furry angels who fill our home with unconditional joy. Protect them from diseases and accidents. Grant them long life and well-being. May their presence always remind us of the importance of loyalty, mutual care, and unconditional love. May the bond with our companion animals be a school of compassion and responsibility for all family members. Consecrate our garden, patio, or plants, those little pieces of nature that connect us with divine creation. May every living thing that grows in our home be a reminder of the cycles of life, the patience needed to see fruits, and the beauty that emerges when we lovingly care for what has been entrusted to us. Protect our plants from pests and diseases. Make them flourish as a symbol of the prosperity we desire for our family. Glorious Archangel, I ask you to pay special attention to the vulnerable areas of my home, those weak points through which negative energies or physical dangers could infiltrate. Reinforce with your divine power any crack in our security, any poorly closed door in our family protection system. May your constant vigilance allow us to live with the peace of knowing ourselves perfectly safeguarded. Drive away from our home people with ill intentions, those who might want to harm us or take advantage of our trust. May your divine discernment help us to recognize who comes to our home with a pure heart and who hides ulterior motives behind a false smile. Protect us from robberies, scams, and any type of violation of our privacy and security. Dissolve any curse, envy, or negative energy that someone, consciously or unconsciously, may have directed towards our family or our home. Cut with your flaming sword any toxic ties, any harmful influence that may be draining our vitality or sowing discord among us. May your divine fire consume all negativity, transforming it into light and blessings. I implore you to eliminate any addiction that is affecting the peace of our home, be it dependence on substances, self-destructive behaviors, or toxic relationships. Replace these invisible chains with the freedom that comes from a deep connection with the divine. May our home be a space of sobriety, mental clarity, and healthy choices for all its inhabitants. Dispel any family conflict that is causing tension under our roof. Soften hardened hearts. Open ears deaf to the needs of others and unleash tongues tied by pride that prevents asking for forgiveness. May differences in our family be bridges to deeper understanding, never walls that separate us. Teach us the divine art of reconciliation and genuine forgiveness. Bless every word spoken within these walls, that they may be constructive, encouraging, and truthful. May our family conversations be filled with respect, empathy, and the ability to listen. Drive away from our vocabulary destructive criticism, unnecessary shouting, and hurtful words that leave invisible scars. Replace them with dialogues that build bridges of understanding and strengthen our bonds. Consecrate the silence in our home, so that it may not be an uncomfortable void, but a sacred space of reflection and inner peace. May we know how to value these moments of stillness as opportunities to listen to the voice of God within us. Protect our home from excessive noise, both external and internal, which often prevents us from connecting with the essence of life. Purify the emotional atmosphere of my home, cleansing any residue of sadness, resentment, or trauma that may have become embedded in these walls over time. May the air we breathe be filled with optimism, gratitude, and hope. Replace emotional heaviness with the lightness of spirit that characterizes homes blessed by the divine presence. I ask you to restore any damaged relationship within our family, healing old wounds and misunderstandings that have created distance between us. May the original love that united us as a family be reborn with greater strength, more mature and more conscious after overcoming trials. Help us to see one another with new eyes, recognizing the divinity that dwells within each member of our family. Reinforce the fundamental values that sustain our family life: unconditional love, mutual respect, honesty, responsibility, and faith. May these pillars be so solid that they can sustain our home even in the most difficult times. Help us to transmit these values to new generations, creating a family legacy that transcends the material. Bless the important decisions we make as a family under this roof. Enlighten our discernment so that we may always choose paths that bring us closer to our divine purpose. May every crossroads of life be an opportunity to reaffirm our trust in divine guidance and our ability to move forward together as a family, supporting each other. Protect our economic stability, so that our home may be a place where what is necessary is never lacking. We do not ask for excessive riches, but for the just abundance that allows us to live with dignity and share with the less fortunate. Drive away from our home scarcity, suffocating debts, and anxiety about tomorrow. Replace them with trust in divine providence and wise stewardship of what has been entrusted to us. Attract to our home opportunities for growth, prosperity, and expansion at all levels. May our home be a magnet for blessings, a point of attraction for favorable circumstances and people who positively contribute to our lives. Close the doors to losses, setbacks, and influences that lead us away from our highest potential. Consecrate the family celebrations that take place in our home, birthdays, anniversaries, achievements, and all those special moments that mark our journey. May every celebration be an opportunity to strengthen our bonds, create happy memories, and recognize the hand of God in every blessing received. Protect these moments from any discord that might tarnish shared joy. Bless the projects that are born within our home, those seeds of the future that we plant with hope and enthusiasm. May every family initiative be aligned with noble purposes and contribute to the common good. Grant us the perseverance needed to bring to fruition what we begin with enthusiasm, overcoming the obstacles that will inevitably arise along the way. Sanctify our moments of family prayer, those sacred spaces where we gather to connect with the divine. May our home be a true sanctuary where the presence of God is felt as real as our own. Strengthen our spiritual discipline so that prayer is not an occasional activity, but the constant heartbeat that gives life to our home. Protect each member of my family when we are away from home, so that we may always return safe and sound to our refuge. Extend your protective mantle over us in our workplaces, schools, travels, and all our daily activities. May your presence accompany us as an invisible shield that guards us from all evil and danger, allowing us to reunite under our shared roof. Glorious Saint Michael, I ask you to establish in my home an environment conducive to rest, where we can regain strength after the daily battles. May our home be an oasis of peace in the midst of the desert of stress that the outside world sometimes is. Teach us to create routines that favor healthy disconnection, restorative rest, and reconnection with what truly matters. Bless the spaces in our home intended for hospitality, so that we may always open our doors to anyone who needs refuge, comfort, or simply companionship. May our home be known as a place where anyone can find a kind word, a sincere embrace, and a cup of coffee offered with love. Help us to practice the virtue of detachment, generously sharing what has been given to us. Consecrate the walls of my home, so that they may be silent witnesses to an edifying family life. May these structures that protect us from the outside absorb the positive vibrations of our shared joys, our sincere reconciliations, and our moments of communion. Remove from these walls any energetic record of past discussions, moments of pain, or hurtful words that may have adhered to them. I ask you to bless the foundations upon which my home was built, that ground that sustains our family life. Purify the history of that piece of land, freeing it from any residual negative energy from past events that might have occurred there before it became our home. May the land beneath our home be consecrated as holy ground, firm and blessed. Powerful celestial warrior, I ask you to create in my home a barrier of spiritual protection as impenetrable as your divine shield. May this sacred bubble filter all energies that attempt to enter, allowing passage only to those that vibrate at frequencies of love, peace, and harmony. Keep out all negative influence, all malicious intent, and all vibration that could alter the divine balance of our family space. Establish in my home a direct connection with heaven, an open channel through which divine blessings may constantly descend. May this spiritual umbilical cord keep us nourished with grace, inspiration, and strength to face daily challenges. Through this celestial connection, may our home become a small branch of paradise on earth. Help us to keep our spaces clean and organized, knowing that external order favors inner clarity. Inspire us to get rid of what we no longer need, creating space for new blessings to enter. May our home be a reflection of our minds and hearts, clear, organized, and free from unnecessary burdens. Teach us to value simplicity and to find beauty in what is essential. Bless the nights in our home, so that they may be times of deep recovery, inspiring dreams, and regeneration at all levels. Place guardian angels around our beds to watch over our rest and ward off any nightmares or negative influences during the hours of greatest vulnerability. May the dawn always find us renewed, grateful, and ready for a new day of blessings. Protect moments of marital intimacy in our home, so that they may be sacred expressions of love, surrender, and deep union. May the marital bedroom be a sanctuary where love flourishes in all its dimensions, strengthening the bond that sustains the entire family. Drive away from this intimate sphere any interference, any misunderstanding, or any unhealed wound that could create distance between spouses. Consecrate family meals so that they may be moments of nourishment, not only physical but also emotional and spiritual. Bless the foods that are prepared and consumed under our roof, so that they may bring health and vitality to our bodies. Around our table, may there always be uplifting conversations, sincere laughter, and the sense of belonging to something greater than ourselves. I ask you to strengthen family unity in our home, weaving invisible but unbreakable threads between all its members. May each one find their unique and irreplaceable place within the family system, feeling valued, heard, and understood. Help us to celebrate our differences as necessary complements that enrich the multicolored tapestry of our family. Glorious Saint Michael, bless our home improvement projects, be they major renovations or small decorative changes. May every modification we make to our space contribute to creating a more welcoming, more functional environment, more aligned with our family's essence. Protect us during these processes from any accident, setback, or excessive expense that could generate unnecessary stress. Establish in our home a perfect balance between tradition and innovation, between the roots that give us identity and the wings that allow us to evolve. Help us to keep valuable family customs alive while opening ourselves to new ideas and necessary adaptations to grow as a family. May our home be both a living museum of our family history and a laboratory where we explore new ways of living in harmony. Bless the spaces in our home dedicated to creativity and personal expression. May each family member find corners where they can develop their talents, explore their passions, and bring their ideas to life. Protect these areas from destructive criticism, limiting judgment, and the fear of failure. Replace them with an atmosphere of mutual support, sincere admiration, and the freedom necessary to create from the heart. I implore you to take special care of the most vulnerable in our family, children, the elderly, the sick, or anyone going through a moment of fragility. May our home always be a safe refuge where the weakest find protection, understanding, and the necessary support to regain their strength. Teach us to cultivate patience and compassion towards those who require special care, seeing in this service an opportunity for spiritual growth. Transform our moments of family crisis into opportunities for growth and strengthening. When the storms of life strike our home, keep us united as one body, resisting the assaults together with the certainty that we will emerge stronger on the other side of the trial. Help us to see in every challenge an invitation to deepen our faith and our family bonds. Protect our home from domestic accidents, structural failures, fires, floods, and any other physical danger that could threaten our safety. Sharpen our senses to detect any potential risk in time, and grant us the wisdom to take the necessary precautions. Under your watchful eye, may our home always be a space where we can live with peace and confidence. I ask you to bless the neighborhood where our home is located, creating a communal environment of mutual support, respect, and peaceful coexistence. Inspire us to be good neighbors, willing to lend a helping hand when needed. Keep away from our area any negative influence, any danger, or any conflict that could disturb the collective peace we yearn for. Glorious Saint Michael the Archangel, above all, I thank you for hearing this prayer and for the protection you have already begun to pour upon my home. Thank you for transforming this space into a true sanctuary of peace and divine security. I feel that your powerful presence is already traversing every corner, cleansing, healing, and blessing all that it encounters. Thank you for reminding me that a truly protected home is not only one that is safe from external dangers, but one where love, understanding, and the presence of God reign. I thank you for helping me understand that the best security for my family is to cultivate solid values, healthy relationships, and a constant connection with the divine. I commit to doing my part to maintain the sanctity of this space you have blessed. I promise to guard my words, my actions, and my thoughts within my home, knowing that I am co-responsible for the spiritual atmosphere we all create. With your help, I will strive each day for my home to be a reflection of heaven on earth. With renewed hope and profound gratitude, I trust that from today forward, my home will be sealed under your archangelic protection. I feel at peace knowing that you, invincible celestial warrior, stand guard at every door, every window, every corner of this sacred space I call home. Thank you for your constant presence and your infallible protection. Brothers and sisters who have reached the end of this prayer, I ask you to give a powerful like to this video right now, so that the protection of Saint Michael the Archangel may reach more homes that need peace and divine security. Subscribe to our channel to receive these powerful prayers daily that transform lives and homes. And most importantly, share this video with your loved ones, especially with those whose home is going through difficult times or needs special protection. If you have a specific petition for your home, leave your comment below, and Saint Michael the Archangel will personally attend to each of your pleas. Remember that every time you share this video, you are extending the Archangel's protective mantle to other homes that may be desperate for divine help. Do not keep this blessing just for yourselves. Amen.